strange things happen. There is a woman who is suing Google because of a map. And the map showed her a dangerous road to walk on. And it didn't have a sidewalk.
Right.
So I don't know where her brain was, but surely if, there were two routes and she took the one without the sidewalk, so she's suing Google.
She's suing Google.
I don't know if they'll ever get to court, but that's
Yeah.
her suit, is to say, you shouldn't show me a map where there's not sidewalks by the highway.
Yeah, I trust everything that I read on the internet, right? Is that her philosophy?
Apparently, but
that's
use
dangerous.
your head.
Yeah.
If they say this is the way to get there, then we have to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to speak. Goodbye, everybody.
So did she hurt herself? Genuinely, break
No,
an
I
ankle?
don't think
or
so. I don't think
it's just
so.
a principle then.
Her position was, and I just read it this morning online, so I'm not sure all the details, but the essence was there were two routes and one of them was not very safe.
Okay.
So Google Maps should not show you that.
Right.
Well,
Right.
what if you don't mind walking along the highway and it's faster? So you can see somebody else saying, all the ways to get there,
Yeah.
and I'll pick my way.
Everyone has different needs.
Right, but down the road, are we going to see lawsuit craziness online? That's the question.
I think that there's definitely, the legal world is actually going crazy over this because there are so many new scenarios are popping up, and we have to create standards and rules to abide by that or to take that into consideration. So I think that we're definitely going to see more regulations set up and more policies and more standards. Whether or not a lot of lawsuits come out of it, I'm not sure. I like to think that
We're smarter than that.
Yeah.
But sometimes we're not.
This is true.
And speaking of smart, there is iClothing now, I know.
I
There's
know.
an iPad black dress.
There is.
Yes.
So I think it's a company in Australia, and it looks like this black chic dress, and it's got a little kangaroo pouch in the front that you could put your iPad into. Oh, there it is. You
There
got
it
up.
is.
Yeah. Isn't that cool? The thing that we were talking about earlier is, wouldn't it be a bit heavy? You hop forward
I
or
would
something.
think. Or
I don't
take-
know, or it would drag your...
Take your iPad out before you wash the dress.
Yeah, this is smart.
Important.
I've washed an iPhone and a BlackBerry before. Not
You
fun.
did?
Yeah, I did.
And there's iPad T-shirts or probably iPhone T-shirts. I don't know. There is an iClothing line. I think very trendy.
I think I might have to order one of those dresses just to say that I have one.
Exactly. Now, speaking of trendy, this iPad, how much does it weigh? Any idea? It's not as light
As you thought it would be.
I thought it would
it's
be.
It's about 1.5 pounds. So
Still
it's
light
pretty.
to
It's
do that.
light. It's not as light. We've talked about the Kindle and the Sony ebook reader before, because one of the things that you could do on the iPad is read books. So it's a little bit heavier that way. The reviews of the people that are actually sitting there reading them for a long period of time, yeah, it does get a bit heavy.
Okay.
But the interface on it, why don't I show you what the interface is on the?
Please.
They have an iBook app, and that is. It's really cute here because when you first open it up, you have a little bookshelf. Isn't that
Great.
cute? All your
Even
little
I
books
can
on
figure
there.
this out. That's about
so
it.
easy. And then you just go in. Let's read Winnie the Pooh's. I think I got a Winnie the Pooh's Blustery Day or one of these things
You
there.
do? I love
Isn't
that.
Cute. And then,
James Morrison, W.J. Dupuy.
there you go.
Don't go down to the end of the town if you don't go down with me.
Oh my goodness, Fanny,
Yes.
you're just rocking the Winnie.
I rock it, Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, that's so cute. So as you can see here, the page turning, it's kind of difficult for me at this angle, but it's actually really easy to turn. Let me just bring it back up just to
Okay.
demonstrate it. If I was sitting here like this, I just flip the page just with a
Fabulous.
flick of the finger.
Can you make the print bigger like you can on Kindle?
You can.
Probably.
Let's show the audience that too. Yeah. So you've got some little settings up at the top here, a big A and a small A, and you just tap on that, and you can say whether you want it bigger or smaller. The other thing that I really like is you can choose your fonts. It's kind of neat because you know how sometimes different brains read font
Sure, you
differently.
feel a little
you relate
medieval.
to
It depends on the book you're reading. You're
Well, that's
reading
true,
Clinton,
too.
you
Yeah.
might be more modern.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So yes,
Okay.
you can change the fonts, you can change the size, you can actually search for content, which I really liked. So that's kind of neat. Say if you have, you're reading a nonfiction book or perhaps a textbook or something on
Right.
there, and you actually want to look for facts and things or different keywords, you can do that really easily.
I guess the good question is, what can't you do on that?
Oh, there's you can do. I don't know if you do.
What can't you do?
You
Well,
can't
there
swim
are
with
some
it.
things you can't.
You can't swim with it.
and
You can't shower with it.
No,
not
and
yet.
you don't want to fall in love with it. All of that, but they said love is the killer app. But that has how many apps?
Well,
Or what determines that?
That's a good question. I actually don't know the exact number of the apps for the iPad. There's definitely not as many apps for the iPad
Right.
as there are for the iPhone at this point in time. When I was going through it, like I just got this yesterday. I bought it from the Simply store down on Broadway there, and I was so excited that they actually got them in because everywhere else. And
Are they?
They got their second shipment
Well,
in
now
early.
they'll be sold out the minute you said that.
Yeah, I know.
What
now
does-
everybody knows they're going
Tell
to rush
me,
to Simply Computing.
price point for that is
This one, okay, so they come in 16 gigabytes, 32 gigabytes, or 64 gigabytes.
Right.
Different versions of it. You can get Wi-Fi enabled or Wi-Fi and 3G enabled. So the Wi-Fi enabled, obviously, it only connects to the internet when you're in a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Right.
The 3G one works with both Wi-Fi hotspots and off a cellular connection. So
see,
off
that
the 3G
makes sense. 3G.
Yeah, so anywhere you go, you
You
can,
don't need a
can do that.
Wi-Fi.
You don't need the Wi-Fi. You could be out anywhere and use your connect to the internet. You do have to have a plan with it though. But one thing I liked is, typically when you've got your phones, you have to sign up for a contract. With the iPad, you actually don't have to sign up for a contract. So the plans are like $15 a month starting, and then they go up from there. But that's not too bad. That's not too bad if you wanted the.
No. So do you suggest if you can afford the works, as they say?
I would, yeah, because we were talking about this. Why would you need, why would buy the 64 gigabyte version versus the 16 gigabyte version? And my recommendation would be, this is the 32 that I have in my hand here, and I was a bit disappointed because I went out and bought it hastily, and when I was at the store, my friend Dave works there, and he's like, are you sure you don't want the 64? And I thought, what do I need 64 gigs for? That's too much. And I got home and I started syncing it with my my iTunes, and I use Apple TV, so I've got all my movies and TV shows. That's within 64 gigs of content. So I have to selectively pick which ones I want on here,
Right.
which is fine.
Sure. So if you put this in your iDress
Yes.
and you hop a plane, you can watch a movie.
Yeah, you can. Let's watch a movie on it. I actually have quality of content. So I've got my music videos on here.